look at that! Those things are beautiful!
You accept it and I must take with you. How beautiful.
Is he leaving us here?
Guys, go tie those goats to the front.
When people imagine Thor, they picture thunder, lightning, Mjolnir, perhaps Chris Hemsworth from the Marvel films. What they rarely picture are two goats. Yet according to Norse mythology, Thor did not ride into battle upon a horse. He rode across the heavens in a chariot pulled by two magical goats. Their names were Tanglisnir, meaning teeth grinder, and Tangnoistra, meaning teeth gnasher. At first glance, this almost sounds ridiculous. The mighty god of thunder, pulled by goats. Marvel even turns the idea into comic relief. The screaming goats in Thor Love and Thunder became one of the film's biggest running jokes. Most audiences laughed, but what many people don't realise is that Marvel's joke contains a clever nod to the original mythology, because Thor's goats were always unusual, and their story may contain one of the deepest lessons in the entire Norse tradition. More than just transport, the goats were certainly Thor's means of travel. Whenever thunder rolled across the sky, many believed it was the sound of Thor's chariot racing through the heavens. The goats represented strength, endurance, movement, power, yet their true importance appears in one remarkable story: the meal that never ends. One evening, Thor visits a family of a poor farming family. Food is scarce, so Thor makes an extraordinary offer. He slaughters his own goats. The family cooks them. Everyone eats until they are full. Imagine that for a moment. The god of thunder gives away the very animals that pull his chariot. His own companions become a meal so that others may eat. But the story is not over. Thor gives one important instruction: do not break the bones. When the meal is finished, place every bone carefully back upon the goat's skins. The following morning, Thor raises Mjolnir, blesses the remains, and the goats stand up once more, alive once more, whole again, ready to continue their journey. It is one of the strangest stories in Norse mythology, but perhaps also one of the most beautiful. Respect matters. Unfortunately, one of the family ignores Thor's instructions. The young boy cracks one of the leg bones to suck out the marrow. When Thor resurrects the goats, one of them returns lame. The damage remains. Thor is furious, not because the family ate his goats. He willingly offered them. He becomes angry because they failed to respect the gift. Eventually, the family offers their children, their son and daughter, into Thor's service as compensation. The relationship continues, but the story leaves us with an important lesson. Generosity deserves respect. Nature gives. There is another way of reading the story. Everyday humanity depends upon nature. Animals, forests, rivers, the land itself. Again and again, nature provides. Again and again, it renews itself. But only if we treat it with care. Thor's goats return to life because the proper respect is shown. When that respect is ignored, lasting damage remains. The symbolism feels surprisingly modern. The earth is incredibly resilient. But resilience is not the same as invulnerability. Take more than we should. Waste what is given. Ignore the consequences. Eventually, something returns broken. Perhaps not beyond healing, but wounded. A lesson about gratitude. The story also teaches gratitude. Thor does not hoard his wealth. He shares it. His miraculous goats become food for strangers. The miracle itself is not that the goats return to life. The miracle is that generosity creates abundance. There is enough for everyone when gifts are treated with care. The opposite is also true. When gifts are taken for granted, something precious is lost. Marvel's wonderful little joke. This is why Marvel's screaming goats are actually rather clever. Most audiences see only a joke. People laugh at the absurdity. Yet the very fact that Thor rides with goats is one of the oldest details preserved from the original Norse myths. Hidden inside the comedy is genuine mythology. Sometimes the oldest stories survive not through seriousness, but through laughter. Why goats? One question remains. Why goats? Why not horses? Why not wolves? Why not dragons? Goats were familiar to ordinary Norse people. They provided milk, meat, leather, warmth, life itself. Thor was often regarded as the god closest to ordinary people. Farmers praised to him. Travellers trusted him. Families looked to him for protection. By riding goats instead of magnificent mythical beasts, Thor remained connected to the everyday lives of the people who worshipped him. His strength was not distant. It travelled alongside the ordinary. The hidden lesson. Perhaps the goats represent something we all forget. Strength is not merely the ability to destroy. Strength is the willingness to provide, to sacrifice, to protect, to nourish. Thor's greatest miracle is not lightning, it is that he gives away what he himself depends upon, so others may live. That is real strength. Final thoughts. When most people think of Thor's goats, they smile. They remember screaming goats from a Marvel film. Or they wonder why a mighty thunder god would ride such humble creatures. Yet perhaps that is exactly the point. Norse mythology constantly reminds us that wisdom hides in unexpected places. The goats teach generosity, respect, gratitude, renewal, and responsibility. They remind us that nature can recover, but only if we honour what it gives us. The next time you hear thunder, imagine Thor racing across the heavens, not behind majestic horses, not behind dragons, but behind two stubborn goats whose story has survived for over 1,000 years. Because sometimes the most overlooked details carry the greatest wisdom. And perhaps that is the greatest joke of all. The funniest story in Norse mythology may also be one of its most profound. As always, thanks for watching. Take care and be well. Skál.